divisible. And then J.J. Thomson discovered the electron, and then later in the beginning of the 1900s, Rutherford discovered the nucleus, which has protons and neutrons, right? So there's like three parts to the atom, right? I'm taking you back to high school tonight. Okay, so you have the protons and the neutrons, which are in the nucleus, which are trapped in the nucleus. Protons are positive, neutrons are neutral. And then electrons are negative, and they're swirling around the nucleus. Yeah? That part we remember? Electrons are negative, protons are positive, neutrons are neutral. And in terms of mass, almost the entire mass of the element is in the nucleus. Protons and neutrons have a lot of mass. Electrons have almost no mass. They're tiny. They're about 2,000 times or 1,800 times less mass than one proton. So the electrons are so small that we don't even include them in the atomic mass. It's practically negligible. So the thing that's negative has essentially negligible mass. The positive thing and the neutral thing is what gives the atom most of its mass. And that's stuck in the nucleus, which gives the atom its whole identity. Right? The identity of an atom, what makes hydrogen element number 1 and helium element number 2 and lithium element number 3 is the number of protons. So hydrogen is 1 because it has 1 proton. Helium's 2 because it has 2 protons. Lithium's 3 because that's 3 protons. The neutrons and the electrons are essentially irrelevant to the identity of the element. So if you change the neutron number, you just get a different isotope. But it's the same element, just a different weight. So hydrogen, regular hydrogen is 1 proton and no neutrons. If you add a neutron, then that's deuterium. It's still hydrogen, but now it's called deuterium. If you add 2 neutrons, now it's tritium. Still hydrogen, but just heavier. That's it. The neutron just adds some mass, but it doesn't change the identity of the element. Same thing with electrons. You can change the electrons. Atoms gain electrons, lose electrons all the time. That's what happens usually in reactions. Electrons switch places and jump from one atom to another. You create ions, but it's still the same. The identity doesn't change. The identity is entirely dependent on the positive protons in the nucleus, and the electrons are swirling around. So what can we learn from that, being an Adam now with a Daled? I think it's a way to set up your life and think about our own lives, that our identity is entirely in our nucleus, is entirely positive. And there's some neutral stuff, but it's mostly what makes our identity is positive. It's your neshama that's within. It's all positivity. It's all divine. It's all Hashem. It's all positive. And all the negative stuff, it's all just swirling around us. And it's so tiny that it's practically insignificant. Its mass is insignificant. Its charge, the charge of the electron, is equal to the charge of a proton, just opposite. So its charge is really strong, but actually its mass is practically nothing. It's negligible. So I think we can learn from this that in life, we have to keep all the negative stuff, like electrons, swirling around. And don't let it affect your nucleus, your identity, your positivity, because your mass and who you are is positive. That's your core. And keep all the electron stuff, all the negative stuff, keep it swirling around you, far, far away. You know, the typical analogy that people use when trying to explain to like children or even to adults how an atom, the shape of an atom. Imagine a stadium, a massive baseball stadium, like an MLB professional baseball stadium with 50,000 seats. If you have that kind of stadium and that's the atom, the nucleus would be a baseball at center field. And the electrons would be out in the stands. And most of the atom is actually empty space, right? Like 99.999% of the atom is just that empty space. And the nucleus is a baseball at center field, and the electrons are like little fruit flies out in the stands.
They could be annoying.
They can be annoying, but ultimately, they shouldn't affect you. That's the idea. So keep all the negative stuff far, far away and just swirling around you, but it shouldn't affect who you are internally. So I think that that's one thing we can learn, just as a general idea about the atom, from the alliteration of Adam with a D.